Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sports in the Mitten, powered by Mr. Spots in Ann Arbor. I'm your host, Adam Biggers. Follow me on Twitter at AdamBiggers81. Read my personal blog, the Free Agent blog, at adambiggers.blog, WordPress, something like that. I still don't know the link. It's on my Twitter, so check it out. I update it when I can. Obviously, it's not as regular as my previous work, but kind of making up for it with the podcast a little bit. Want to talk? We can talk about Michigan basketball, but I think the big Justin Green says I'm back. Sorry, at school. No problem, Justin. School comes first, man. Big topic of the day: Shea Patterson, the Ole Miss, Deontay Anderson, Van Jefferson, Ole Miss guys visiting at Michigan. Great overtime win for the Wolverines. It looked like at one point down 15 or 13, I think 15 at the most. It looked like UCLA was going to run away with it. Just the length, speed, overpowering Michigan. Then you see Mo Wagner with that dunk, and then he hits a three, and then it's a domino effect. Charles Matthews scored 20 points. Mo had a game high 23, 10 to 16 shooting from field goal range, or 10 to 16 from the floor, and he was 3 for 5 from 3-point range. So I think that pretty much settles the Michigan basketball talk. I think you guys probably want to talk more about Shea. So real quick, I'm gonna just tweet the live link here, and we'll get into it. There is one thing though I do want to go over is transfer rules because I think a lot of people are jumping the gun and automatically assuming that Shea Patterson is going to be eligible to compete with Brandon Peters and Dylan McCaffrey for the starting quarterback job. So computer's being a little slow right now, guys. So Zach Bass is in here. Hey guys, I can't get it to open up on my for some reason. I don't know. I think I have too many windows open. Deontay Anderson, should he come to Michigan, would be immediately eligible. He's suing the NCAA. He sat out under false pretenses, Ole Miss, and their bowl eligibility. So Deontay would be eligible. He is the exception. I swear, if I can get this my computer work, I'll get in the chat room. I see a lot of people hopping in here. Want to thank everybody, and real quick too, guys. If for those who didn't watch the last show, doing a little fundraising campaign for the podcast, trying to keep it going, maybe add a little bit to it. So if you're so inclined, I do have a GoFundMe, and or you could do it PayPal. A few people have already donated, so I want to thank them. Tweeted out my thanks yesterday for Brad and Cody. Appreciate it, guys. Anybody else who's interested, again, you could do that. And let me finally got in here. Well, it appears, I don't know. Having some technical issues today. I don't know if it's got a little bit of snow here. Seems like any type of storm or any type of snow or anything, my Wi-Fi acts up. So I can't see the chat, guys. So any questions in here? Like I said, I do want to read this rule to you guys, just so everybody's clear. And with Shea Patterson, there could be some type of exception, but this is the hard and fast rule for basically transfers. And again, situations are different. Different rules can apply to different situations, but for the most part, here they are. And this is from NCAA.org. Exception: if you meet a legislated exception, it means a specific regulation will not apply to you. The school to which you are transferring determines whether you are eligible and has the authority to apply exceptions. One-time transfer exception: if you transfer from a four-year school, you may be immediately eligible to compete at your new school if you meet all the following conditions. You are transferring to a Division I or Division III school, or you are transferring to a Division I school in any other sport than baseball, men or women's basketball, football, or men's ice hockey. If you are transferring to a division school for any of the previous listed sports, you may be eligible to compete immediately if you were not recruited by your original school and you have never received an athletic scholarship. You are academically and athletically eligible at your previous four-year school. You receive a transfer release agreement from your previous four-year school. So there are some exceptions, there are some rules. to it. All right, here we go. The chat is up. Adam Lang, hey Adam, Zach, Owen Schussler, our point guards were good. Yeah, I thought guard play. I mean, and this with if you guys want to talk about Michigan basketball real quick, Michigan basketball, this is going to be a work in progress. I mean, I think everybody knew that there is. I mean, Mo Wagner, star potential, Charles Matthews, star potential. That's a given. The rest of the lineup, I don't know. Mar, up and down. Mar's got to be consistent. Jordan Poole, Eli Brooks, Xavier Simpson. I mean, there's something to like about a lot of these guys. Austin Davis, John Teskey. There's always pros and cons to every player, and I think right now, I mean, Duncan Robinson just not shooting well. I mean, and you had look at this game. Michigan wins in overtime. Was down by 15 at one point. Was shooting less than 30% from the floor and 3-point range, and yet it was. I believe at the time they were up 64-60 when I looked at that stat. So there is something there with the Michigan basketball team. I think the popular thing, people like to pile on Michigan early, and then as it grows, people start, their concerns aren't as much, and then, we go in last year in March, and then all of a sudden people woke up a little bit, and they're like, wow, this Michigan team's pretty good. I'm not saying this team is going to be like last year's team, but I am saying that this team is not a ready-made Big Ten contender, ready-made for anything. I mean, it's essentially just kind of coming together right now. Only 11 games in the season, long season. So, Adam Lane said UCLA had a lot of turnovers and we missed double-digit free throws. We should have won this game by a bigger margin. And Adam, again, those stats. I mean, you look at the statistics, and then you look at when Michigan was down. I mean, UCLA, not a dominant team. Michigan. I don't know what else to say other than Michigan woke up. Michigan played the type of basketball that I think that we'll see more of this year. It's just how consistent is it going to be, and obviously the free throw shooting is a concern. When Mo gets hot, he gets hot, says Amir. Yes, trust Beeline, one of the best in the business. Amir, that is logic, and I like it. So, yeah, guys, I do not know why this. I had a bunch of topics to talk about, but for some reason. This is, my internet connection is just not, it's got to be the snow. It's got to be the snow. But any questions, guys? Anybody have questions about, anybody have any questions about Shea Patterson, Van Jefferson, son of Sean? He used to coach wide receivers with the Detroit Lions. Again, I think the main thing was, everybody was talking about Shea Patterson, and with the Michigan basketball game, and fans are just going, bonkers essentially about Shea. But you have to remember that there are rules, and it's not a guarantee that he's going to be immediately eligible. And I feel like without this chat working, it's just not. Well, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to cut this off because we're just having I'm having a heck of a time. It's just not. Probably try it again. Thanks for joining me, guys. I appreciate it, but for some reason this is not cooperating. So I'm gonna have to bail out, and I'll see if I could get back on. If you guys have any questions, of course, at AdamBiggers81 on Twitter, so on and so forth. I'd be happy to answer and let you guys know what I know. One final thing, I guess I'll keep this up. One final thing I do want to mention is that there were some fan rumors. Noah Cain, 5-star running back at IMG. I don't believe that Michigan's really in the picture. It's not over till it's over, but there are some people, and I know like if you follow the guys who really follow recruiting, they'll tell you I don't think Michigan has been in play for Noah for some time, but there were a couple people, and again you have to, just because it says Michigan in the handle or sports, it's got a cool Wolverines avatar or something like that, or that doesn't mean it's a credible source. So if you're hearing that Noah Cain is leaning toward Michigan, that's just not true. He does not have a leader. I was told by someone who is a close personal friend of his. So I think this is working. Maybe not. It's the snow, guys. I apologize. Thanks. I want to thank everybody for joining me. Follow me on Twitter at AdamBiggers81. I'll try to get these tech issues corrected, and we'll try to go again later. But But just wanted to real quick talk about Michigan basketball, and I think the meat and potatoes of it was Shea Patterson, it looks likely. Deontay looks likely. Van looks likely. Deontay will be immediately eligible to play. Van and Shea would be subject to the other transfer rules. So, again, thanks for watching. I'm Adam. This was a real quick one. Unless we're not even at 11 minutes yet. Usually we go like 45 minutes. So, I appreciate all your guys' time today. Have a good weekend. I'll pop back up with another podcast when I find some more stuff worth talking about. So, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you next time.